What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Premier Podcast, episode 10. I'm J-Mac, here with Wick.
What's up?
And Tona.
What's up going, guys?
Oh, I gotta get used to that. Anyways, we got a lot to talk about today. Like, a lot. Or I do. I don't know what Tuna and have.
Yeah.
I've got a lot.
We got quite a bit.
I think Wick's gonna start with some ab teachers, and then we're gonna go into a pretty big current event that everyone's been talking about for a few days. So kick us off.
Okay, so first one. A North Carolina woman sentenced to 20 years after trying to dispose of a body of her husband's ex-girlfriend with acid and alligators. Boom. Number 2. U.S. soldier pleads guilty in court to supplying ISIS. This was a house in Honolulu. He was stationed in Hawaii, goes to Honolulu, finds an ISIS house, and I guess joins or whatever, and then gave them classified information and also gave them access to a drone. But he got 25 years after that. Third one, a Wyoming hypo, a few of the officers, they see over $7 million worth of weed in a routine traffic stop.
Wait, how much?
$7 million.
Okay. Golly. Just wanted to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah.
Was it just all, like, weed, or was it, like,
it was all
cash?
weed. All weed.
No cash?
1,849 pounds.
Oh my gosh, in one car?
It was a semi.
Oh my god, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a car. I was like, what?
Yeah. But yeah,
okay.
1,800 pounds.
Right,
so fourth one, all three, the Muslims in the New Mexico compound that were training the school shooters, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were all acquitted today by the judge. They got off with no repercussions or anything because the prosecutors failed to give them trial within 10 days after the accusation.
So they, like, worked the system pretty much.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Illegality got them off the hook, and they had no punishment now.
Damn.
They'll probably get it for something else eventually.
Yeah, hopefully. And our last one, Kanye, is to release the new glow-in-the-dark Yeezys. The release date is September 21st. I don't know if you know.
$2 million.
I don't know if you know how the story came about. It was on Twitter earlier. Is that their daughter Northwest didn't want to put her shoes on the other day, and Kim was trying to bribe her and saying they're glow in the dark, and then Kanye was on speakerphone the whole time. So he goes, "I'm making that happen." So he's making the glow in the dark Yeezys now. There's no price for them yet.
$2 million for sure.
But I probably won't be buying them.
No.
And then the last one, this is the one we're going to talk about a little bit. I know we don't want to talk about them, but this is one that happened. The shooter at the Madden event.
Yeah, Madden.
And,
it was all caught on Twitch. Everything like that. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tragic.
How old was he?
He was 24. The shooter was
24. Yeah, J-Mag did some of the research on that. I don't know a whole lot what happened.
Pretty much. So he had won a championship. Like, he was a previous Madden champion or whatever. He won an event last year in 2017. I think he had won before. Mm-hmm. And he came, and he was actually a competitor at this event, mm-hmm. and had lost earlier.
And there was a whole bunch of competitors there. It wasn't just like him and the other guy there.
Yeah,
it was
there was I think there was 2 dead and I think 10 injured.
Yeah.
So was he just pissed off that he lost?
He lost.
They're still investigating that. Like, they don't know what caused the shooting.
Yeah, that was the big thing. It was like he lost like first or second round. Did you read about that? Yeah, so he lost like first or second round, and then they think that set him off. Maybe like because he's a previous champion and he thinks he's good. I mean, it's obvious he's playing against a bunch of good people, but there was other stuff related to it. You said like he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, or he was put on schizophrenic drugs or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So his parents got divorced like 10 years ago, whatever. Mm-hmm. And around that time, he started showing.
So he was like 14, 15?
Yeah, and around that time, he started showing like signs of like mental illness and stuff. And so like they like took him to like doctors, and he got on like meds and stuff. But apparently, he had been like, stable for several years now. And so they're kind of like ruling that out. But one of the big things everyone's talking about is that he acquired the guns legally in Baltimore.
Illegally?
Legally.
Okay. Well, they're handguns.
Huh?
They were handguns.
One of them had a laser sight on it.
I mean,
that's fine. That's
which is interesting. But like,
10, 15
but
bucks.
like,
No, they're like $200 for like.
But like, okay, so the thing is that everyone's like, because of his history of a mental illness, there's been a lot of people saying like, well, how did he get a gun? Da, da, da. It's because like, the gun laws don't prevent people with mental illnesses having
just a background check.
Yeah, it's a background check. Yeah, and that's everyone's like, a lot of what was being said is like, people that have like history of mental illness shouldn't be able to purchase guns. Da, da, da. It's like, well, they're not the ones that are like doing the majority of the shootings. It's like the problem is people with violent tendencies getting guns and stuff. And another thing is everyone's like, there's a lot of stuff about if that is one of the like things keeping people getting guns, like the mental illnesses it's going to create a stigma against mental illnesses and stuff that would prevent people from seeking help.
Isolate them.
Yeah, and it's going to prevent people from seeking help because of the stigma associated with it. And so
like you can no longer hunt if you technically have mental illness.
Yeah, and so there's just lots of stuff.
And what if you're not diagnosed with a mental illness?
Yeah,
like some people do have it, but they aren't.
But that's what we're saying is like I'm not gonna go get checked because I want to have a gun someday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because where would you draw the mental illness line? Like if you like ADHD is technically a mental illness, can they not own a gun? Yeah. But I mean, there would have to be stages.
My dad brought up a good point. He said, you don't really see like a whole lot of like the CNN and the MSNBC covering this because it was handguns that was used. It wasn't the scary AR-15 that was used.
Actually, the first article that I saw was CNN.
Was it really?
But and when I realized it was CNN, I was like, I read it, but I was like, I'm going to another source. Like, I don't want to just use CNN. So
I don't use them at all.
So I went to USA Today, and that's where I got like most of the information was from USA Today. Because so the way that CNN made it sound like the mental illness was a part of the cause, which is like how it seemed worded. But then like USA Today like elaborated more. It's like, oh, this was several years ago, and like CNN kind of left that part out.
CNN likes to not.
Well, a bunch of any news website is going to leave out some stuff.
Yeah. No, but they like that company likes to have something to blame it on, opposed to people suck sometimes. People just are bad sometimes.
Because that's what people want. They want them to be like, hey, this is the reason why I did it. So they're obviously going to cater to the people that are watching. And they're like, hey, why did he do this? And you're just like, oh, mental illness for sure. He had a mental illness. So definitely that's what it is. Because, I mean, that's what we've seen. We talked about mass shootings, gun control, all this stuff on the previous podcasts. And, I mean, most of it is due to mental illness and drugs and stuff like that.
And I think we think of ourselves as we've evolved so much when actually we haven't. Really, I mean, we've all
the human race is honestly pretty garbage.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we evolved technologically like really well, but we still rape, we still kill,
we're not
loot.
Shoot morality.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't made a whole lot of moral progress.
I think we've went down a little.
Yeah, honestly, we may have morally digressed.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, at least like back in the day, at least it had like it was set in stone. Everybody was this certain way. And then shit would happen, and then it changes. But then now half the population is one way, half the population is another, and now we're just kind of clashing.
Yep. Yeah. All the time.
So,
and like another thing that I was reading is like people want to like blame it on like mental illnesses, but literally only like 2 of the many mass shootings that have occurred have been because of mental illness related backgrounds. The rest of them is just because of violent tendencies, and it's more statistically like more likely that someone with a mental illness is a target of a mass shooting than the shooter at one.
And I feel like mental illness, I think it's a real thing, and it can be very harmful to people. I hate how loosely it is thrown upon everybody.
Right?
Like, because if you go on Twitter, and if you, I follow 230 people, I'd say 80% of my feed is people talking about how depressed they are and how much anxiety they have.
That's mental illness.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
if
it's categorized as mental illness.
Yeah, but all 220 people that I follow have it.
Yeah, I think they're like self-diagnosing themselves. Like, I don't think that anyone's actually like, oh, I suffer anxiety or I suffer from depression. It's just people that are feeling down or feeling stressed and they're like, oh, I have anxiety, and things like that. Like, I don't think any of them are, I think people are too quick to throw labels that they think of depression and anxiety as littler things, but as a mental problem. But I think
everybody goes through a downtime.
Yeah.
Okay. everybody's gonna feel depressed at some point. That doesn't mean you have depression. And then same thing with anxiety. I get anxiety whenever I have to go up and speak in front of people.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I am diagnosed with it and I need to take medication.
I don't like
for it.
speaking in front of people, so I am allowed to shoot people.
Because I have anxiety. Yeah, I don't like talking in front of people. I don't like meeting new people and having conversations with them all the time. And I get anxious and I get sweaty and all that stuff. But that doesn't mean that I have anxiety.
Welcome to Earth. You're human.
It's gonna happen. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can't just all these little things are not. They're making it into big things.
I feel like people are too quick to throw heavy labels on small things.
Yep.
And that's just a society morality thing. Just people wanting to not come to terms that people suck. Humanity is not great.
There has to be a reason for it besides
people suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that
anyways, I think we kind of digressed from that topic.
Okay. I'm done. So, Tuna, hit us with.
Okay. So, main thing today that we have is NBA for sure, obviously. But one thing I want to touch on in the NFL, Odell Beckham Jr. became the highest paid wide receiver this last week. 5-year, $95 million contract. I think Antonio Brown's right underneath him at like $80 million a year, or like $80 million in his contract. So I mean, good for him. And people have been talking about him lately about being the best wide receiver in probably the world. Like obviously he's one of the best wide receivers right now.
Is he worth $95 million though?
I think he is, just because have you seen his workouts?
He's damn good.
He is so good.
No, I'm not talking about foot. I'm talking about like maybe
he is worth it.
I don't know if he's worth 95 on the field. But like with like merchandise and social media, and then like he brings a lot to the table.
Yeah, he does for sure. I think they took that in consideration too, because you don't want to lose a great player like that just because you don't want to give him enough money. And I mean, they have enough cap space to do it. So I mean, you can get a mediocre quarterback with him, and he would still do good.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a mediocre quarterback right now, but yeah. So the Giants picked up a good thing right there. Didn't really pick it up, but now we're going to talk about Jeremy Lin. He got signed with the Hawks. Did you guys hear about that?
No.
Well, I haven't heard anything from Jeremy Lin since that whole Linsanity thing, like several years ago.
Like 7 years ago? Yeah, well, he's played 8 years in the NBA. He averaged, over his career, he averaged 12 points per game, 2.9 rebounds, 4.5 assists. And the only bad thing about this is that he was hurt all last season except for one game. Played one game.
Wow.
So, and I think that's kind of weird for the Hawks because, I mean, they got rid of Dennis Schroeder. So, I mean, they needed a point guard, but, I mean, they have Trae Young. So, I think they're kind of, like, stacking it up to where Trae Young is the focus type thing. Or, like,
how does Jeremy Lin even fit in there? Is he back up off the bench?
He may be starting point guard, maybe, depending on how Trae Young does. I mean, it's all up to the coach and seeing. I mean, Jeremy Lin's a solid player.
Do you think he'll start Jeremy Lin and have Trae Young come off the bench until Trae Young kind of gets his grasp for the NBA?
I think that would be best for him because, I mean, Jeremy Lin's obviously, like, a veteran. He could kind of, not really a veteran per se, but I mean, he's played 8 years in the NBA. He knows his way around the NBA, hopefully by this point, and knows how to, and he can, just Trae Young can learn from that. I mean, and you have Vince Carter on the team. I mean, that's just, I think they're just like setting up to build Trae Young up to be like a Steph Curry type player.
So you think that, do you think Lin should start over Young to kind of help? I think to help push Trae Young along. Because we all know he's good, and we want to see him like do well and succeed. But I don't, not all rookies are gonna like be ready. I think, especially with pulling him over, shows that they want to kind of work him in and not just throw him in.
I think that will push him too, because he's that type of player. Like, if I'm not starting, I'm not good. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna be like, if I'm not starting, I'm gonna get that starting position. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just gonna push him even harder than he is. I mean, he's already pushing hard, but I mean, if he's just gonna try so much harder in workouts. But there was a little thing whenever I guess it was like his first time. He took an Uber or a Lyft or something to the stadium or the arena. Yeah. And his Lyft driver, it was him, and I think it was his brother. I'm not for sure, but he asked him if they were in high school. Oh my god! He's like, "So what high school do you guys go to?" It's just like the funniest thing, and he had it all over Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram. But it was funny. That's funny. But also, big news. Most shoe people that like shoes don't like this, but the NBA lifted the color restriction on the shoes this year, so players can wear any kind of shoe color they want, no matter what game it is. Because they used to have like Christmas Day, like Thanksgiving, October, like Halloween and stuff. You could wear like different color shoes, like special events. or whatever. But now it's like every game, so you're just gonna see crazy shoes all the time. You're not gonna have to like see like red and white, like something like that.
I think it's gonna bring like a rebirth of like sneaker culture. Seeing the players wearing all these different shoes.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know because I mean you're only seeing 3 styles. You're seeing Kyrie's, LeBron's, or.
I mean, you're seeing a bunch
Curry's.
though. I mean, because I think that's gonna bring people to like, because you know, like it's Nike and Adidas right now.
Yeah.
And then you got Puma in here now that have been signing people. I mean, most people have forgotten about that, but I mean, they signed 3 of the top rookies. 3.
Do they even make basketball shoes?
Not now. They did. Vince Carter. Yeah. That's the first shoe that he signed with back whenever he was like at Toronto.
What about Under Armour?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, like Puma, Puma's going to be coming up, and they're going to just they're going to wear crazy shoes just to get people to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Nike obviously has crazy shoes. Nike's going to be up there. Adidas is going to be up there, and then Under Armour. So you have like 4 like really like you could just make crazy shoe combinations with them, and I think it's going to be pretty dope to see because you see it in AAU and stuff all the time.
I wonder where Puma got all their money.
They sell a bunch like overseas in
really?
soccer and stuff.
Yeah, Puma's actually really big soccer.
It's like it's like Adidas, Puma, and then Nike. I think in soccer.
Yeah,
like overseas,
Puma,
it's just not big.
Puma's actually up there.
It's not big here,
mm-hmm.
but like if you like, whenever we went to Ireland, everybody was wearing Puma. It was the weirdest thing ever. They had like more Puma stuff than like Nike stuff in all their like shops. And stuff. It was kind of weird, and they fit completely differently too. Like the shoes, it's kind of weird.
I've worn them before. I didn't like them, but I mean,
it's just like weird. It's like so much tighter on your foot. It feels like it's like kind of weird.
Awesome.
I haven't worn Pumas in a long time, so I don't really know.
Yeah, it's been since grade school.
Yeah, I just tried them on because they looked pretty freaking sweet. They had like a white pair. But also, this is pretty sad for me, just because I grew up watching him play all the time. Manu Ginobili, he retired the 27th of August, which was 2 days ago.
Good for him. He was getting up there.
End of an era. That's all I gotta say. It's end of an era. He's from Argentina. He got drafted, and I can't remember. He played 16 years. He's 41 years of age. He's played 16 years in the league, all for the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
all with basically Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. I mean, those 3 have the Spurs' last game without any 3 of them on the roster was April 20th, 1997.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
20 years. Almost 21 years.
Yeah, it's longer than I've been alive.
So
that's insane.
That's starting whenever they signed Duncan.
Wow.
That year. That's the last time they played a game without him on the roster. So freaking 20 years without any of them on the roster.
Would he have stayed another year if Parker would have stayed?
I doubt it. See, I saw something about Parker saying that he's going to retire a Spur. It was weird. I don't know what
can't.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was like, what is this? Like, he already signed the contract and everything. He may
Wait,
not have signed the contract yet.
Where's he going?
Tony Parker, he's going to Charlotte.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hornets. Yeah, behind Kemba Walker.
All right.
And I mean, but he's a 4-time champ, 2-time All-Star. He played almost 1,100 games in his whole career, and then over his career he averaged 13 points per game, 3.8 assists, and he started the Euro step movement.
Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on.
For sure.
There's a stat there. How many All-Stars was it?
2 times All-Star.
2 times. How many rings does he have?
He has 4. He's been a 6-man his whole career.
That's what I'm saying. And he, what do you have his like lineup, like a stat sheet lineup, like how many points or anything?
What do you mean?
Like overall points,
like average points.
Average points 13. 13.2.
Okay, yeah. Well, all I'm saying is
for that year, I do not. For those years, I don't have his stats. I didn't get him.
They don't win rings without him, and he only has 2 All-Star appearances. That's all I'm saying.
And he has 2007 to 2008 season. He won 6-man.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the year. I don't think it was the year.
It just goes to show the importance of role players.
Yeah.
And role players being okay with being role players.
Exactly. And the Spurs have always been like that, it seems like, since he's been there. Popovich has been there. Because, I mean, they always have... You got Patty Mills. He could be starting on any other team, but he decided to stay behind Tony Parker and everything like that. And you just have everybody that's just like... He gets them so, like, into the lineup. Like, this is your role, and you're going to do good at this role. And then they do amazing at the role. But, I mean, yeah, it's just the end of an era. And it's kind of sad just because I've grown up watching all of them and being amazed by every single one of them. But that's all I have for today. So we're going to J-Mac.
All right. So, you want to start with League of Legends or Call of Duty?
League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends. Okay, so League of Legends. We talked about last time the quarterfinal matches were going on.
Okay.
Between it was TSM and Echo Fox. TSM won, and then 100 Thieves played. Who was it? I forgot who they played
Don't
the next
ask me.
day. FlyQuest. They played FlyQuest the next day. And so TSM and 100 Thieves advanced to the semifinals. And we talked about Team Liquid gets to choose who they play against, right?
Yeah.
So Liquid chose 100 Thieves to play against.
Okay.
Which I really like. For one, like I'm a huge 100 Thieves fan.
And you're Nate Shot fan?
Yeah, Nate Shot fan, which is why I'm 100 Thieves fan. But so Liquid chose 100 Thieves. And this has kind of been like, they've been turned into like rivals. Because they put each other for the championship last split.
Mm-hmm.
It was 100 Thieves versus Liquid, and Liquid won. And then they've played 2 other times this split, and Liquid is 2-0 this split against them. And so this is kind of like, this is to go to the championship. So it's a return of the last champions to see who's going to get to go on this year. So it's been an interesting dynamic between the two. There's been a little smack talk and stuff between the two, like Oregoners and stuff.
Liquid has won 2 games this split, right? Against 100 Thieves. So they obviously chose like, hey, we can beat these guys. We beat them last year, and we've already beat them twice this year.
Yeah, they've beaten. I think they've beaten 100 Thieves the past 3 or 4 times they played.
Yeah, that could also be a bad thing. They're like, hey, we're just gonna win. This is gonna be easy.
Yeah.
And then 100 Thieves could come out and just slay.
Yeah, and so I think this game's gonna be hyped up a lot, just because it's a rematch of the last split, and they were the first 2 teams to play this split, so that was super hyped up that it was a rematch of the championship.
Seriously?
Yeah, and now they're playing again September 2nd, and so I'm really excited to see how that turns out.
Who wins?
Who do I think wins?
Mm-hmm.
I want 100 Thieves to win, and they've been playing pretty well, but from what I've seen in their performances against Liquid recently, it's not looking pretty.
Gotcha.
But
so maybe it's in 100 Thieves' head, like, hey, it's gonna be hard to beat these guys.
But 100 Thieves has been on a roll, and they completely stomped the last weekend when they played to get to the semis.
Mm-hmm. I think
they completely stomped FlyQuest.
They need to just get in the right mindset. If they're both in the right mindset, it's like a toss-up. But if like one of them is just like, hey, we're gonna win, and the other team's just like, hey, we're gonna lose.
And the thing is during the split they just play best of 1s.
Oh,
this is a best of 5.
Oh shit!
So it's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take forever.
So
yeah, we talked about that. It's gonna take like 3 hours.
So it's a completely different type of game when you're playing a best of 5 as opposed to best of 1s.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely interesting.
And there's a little bit of leeway, like I said, you can go up 2-0 and just be like, oh, this is gonna be easy. We just gotta win 1 out of the next 3, and then they just suck the next 3 and then lose.
And the thing about League of Legends is it can change from one game to the next can change so much because there's like 150 champions to pick from.
Yeah.
You only get to ban. There's a total of 10 champions banned, so that's 140 champions left to pick from to build a team comp around.
Yeah, but I mean, most people pick like the same ones every time. Like know, like one person's good at like 2 or 3, and then if they block 2 or 3 of those out, then you're just like, oh, I gotta pick this one.
But the thing is like they're obviously better with certain champions, but being professionals, they can play as any of them. And it depends on the type of composition you want to run. Because there's team fighting compositions where they want a 5v5. There's split pushes where they want to run a 1-3-1. So 1 person in the top lane, 3 people in mid lane, and then another person bottom lane, and split and push. So there's different compositions and stuff.
I mean, you want the guy to be comfortable. So if obviously you can. There's different strategies you can have, but I mean, they also they have a specific one that they want to be for each of those. That's what I'm trying to say. They want to be this one and this, and then if they do 5v5, they want to be this guy. And it's just kind of
they usually do about probably 2 or 3 of their main ones.
Yeah, that they practice all the time.
Yeah, that they practice a particular amount or whatever. And so, but there's still, even with banning those, is they can only target so many of those.
Yeah.
Away from certain people. So then, there's a lot of strategy in the picking and banning phase. Yes. And so used to I was when I pick and ban, I don't want to watch this shit. But now that I understand the game a little better, I actually enjoy watching the picks and bans, especially with the analysts talking about it as it happens.
Because they know who's good with what. They're like, hey, they just blocked him. So if they're trying to run this strategy, then they're gonna have to. Somebody else is gonna have to run that, or they're just gonna change their strategy completely because you don't know what they're gonna ban whenever you go in. So you have to you're kind of on the fly right there at that point. You're like, oh shoot.
Yeah, and then there's also so it starts out you get 3. Each team gets to ban 3, and then they go. The first 3 people on the team pick, and then they go, and each team bans 2, and then the last 2 on each team gets to pick. So they split it up, and so after that, then it's the first pick kind of sets the tone. Who's going to first pick what champion? and things like that. And so like it's just there's a lot that goes into it, and it's really interesting. Anyways, we can talk forever about that stuff. Moving on. Okay, so still on League of Legends, but the League of Legends World Championships 2018 is starting October 1st, I believe. Yeah, October 1st. It's going to start in South Korea with the play-in matches. So how this works is there's 24 teams that qualify from all over the world. 12 qualified directly, and then the other 12 have to compete in like a play-in to advance.
Yeah, and the team that wins the tournament that we were talking about before this gets an automatic. They're one of those 12, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And so, so most countries only get one team that has to go through play-in. Like, okay, so I have so South Korea, China, Europe, North America, and then it was like MLS, which was like Hong Kong, and like other like Southeast Asia areas, whatever. But those like 5 areas are the only ones that get a first and a second seed and a play-in team. So all of those areas, so like the LMS or whatever, like it's like 3 different countries, but they group them together, and so they get a first, second seed, and then a play-in, and so like those areas all get a first, second, and play-in. But everyone else, like Brazil, Latin American countries, and like a bunch of other countries, just get one team that has to go through a play-in.
That kind of sucks. It's kind of dumb, but I mean,
but yeah.
But they want the most people that play the game
and keep up with it are from North America, Europe, China, South Korea, and stuff. And so they're definitely catering to that audience, and the level of competition there is a lot. It's a lot higher, and so these smaller teams kind of have to prove themselves, which makes sense. So that's how World is going to work, and that's starting October 1st. So it's coming up the next month. Yeah. So there's only like I think 4 teams that have been announced that are for sure going to World so far, or even in the playing matches, and I don't know any of them because they're not from the EU or the NALCS, so I don't know any of them, and I didn't write them down. But there's only like 4 teams, and so the other like 20 teams are still undecided, and should be chosen like soon, because a lot of like the leagues are still wrapping up their championships, like the NALCS and stuff. And so I think, and that's where they generally get their
plan,
their
seeds.
Yeah, their seeds and stuff. And so probably mid September, in the next like 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be getting some notice on what teams will be competing at Worlds. And the next thing we're going to talk about is Call of Duty. So Evil Geniuses won champs a week or 2 ago. I don't know if we really talked about it. I don't think we did.
I don't think we did, no.
But the roster they won with was Apathy, which I think you know, or you watched a little bit with when Apathy was big. Aches, you know Aches. He's always front of controversy. And then Silly and Assault. And I think those are a little bit newer players. But Apathy and Aches, so this was their second COD champs to win. So they're up there with, I believe it's Karma and Crim6. I think those 4 are the only ones that have ever won 2.
Twice,
2 COD champs. But they were like an underdog. So EG was the team that knocked Optic out, but they were 1 map away from not even advancing. Yeah. And then they come through to take the winner's bracket and then end up winning the championship.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely insane because they were never even like one of the favorites to win, and they just came out of nowhere and destroyed. And they beat TK, and what we're going to talk about is actually TK doesn't have a roster right now. All of their players,
I saw that. 2
of them are free agents now, and then the other 2, Kenny and Pharaoh, 2 phenomenal players that I watched a little bit of champs, and I was like, dang, like I didn't even know who they were. They're actually the 2 first members of Nate Shot's 100 Thieves COD team for Black Ops 4, so I'm actually really excited about getting back.
What if he picks up that whole team?
That would be insane because they were totally dominant. And the other 2 players from TK are Accuracy and Enable. Okay. Veterans that have been around a while, and are very talented. There's a little bit of rumor that he might pick up Karma. He used to be at Optic, but
because I mean he's still tight with all those people at Optic. So I mean, if he left, and
Karma isn't going to be competing with Optic anymore. Like that's like pretty much completely off the table.
Yeah.
And so, and there was like a video where Karma said that if Nadeshot gets like a good group, he would consider going and playing for Nadeshot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's actually pretty crazy. But the other roster changes as of like 2 days ago is so obviously Accuracy and Abel from Team Caliber are both free agents. Then there's Josh and Mad Cat from Splice. I don't really know it. Mad Cat, I think I've heard a little bit of him. I think he played for like FaZe or something a while ago. From Splice are now free agents. Zapidus, no idea who that is, but he's from Lethal. He's a free agent now. Spacely, he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Proto, Mo, and Major Maniac. So the entire Elevate roster is now a free agent. They were so Elevate and TK both don't have rosters at this point in time. Like,
wow.
There's no one on their rosters, which is kind of crazy. So
They'll probably sign some of those guys.
Two teams don't have anybody, and then a team that is just forming now has two people.
TK and who else?
Elevate.
You want to know something cool about Elevate? I was playing pubs, and what was it? Advanced Warfare, and I went up against Slacked, Elevate Slacked.
Oh my! No freaking way!
We were playing Uplink. I dropped a 40 bomb on him. We lost, but I dropped a 40 bomb on him, and I killed Select I think like 12 or 13 times.
That's insane, bro.
I don't remember.
Holy shit, dude!
I remember
dude. Why I don't think you've told me that before. Why would you not have told me that before?
I thought
you played against Swag. That's actually pretty awesome.
I knew about it.
I didn't know about that.
It was a pub, so it was 6v6, so 40 was kind of easy to come across, but
that's crazy though.
He threw the dig my way a little bit, but I got him back a couple times.
Dude, that's awesome. So I think that's pretty much it for Call of Duty. Lots of big changes, obviously, to rosters down to nothing, and then a new team joining, picking up 2 people from the runner-ups from the championships.
You touched my toe.
Can you not
get out of
tickle
here.
my freaking shin? I've never been tickled on the shin before.
You full on groped my toe.
I thought it was like a fly or something, and then I was like, it's his foot. And I was already grabbing your toe.
Get out of here.
Oh, goodness. All right, anyways, and so lastly is you can't really go a podcast talking about esports.
Fortnite.
And not talk about Fortnite. So, Fortnite, the biggest thing is the cube. The giant purple cube.
Dude, we had so much fun on it.
I was like, we
probably spent like 5 minutes just jumping up on up and down.
Seeing how high we could go.
So it spawned a week ago with the latest update,
something like that
ish. And it it didn't even actually spawn a week ago. It took like a day or two for it to spawn. They're just loud ass purple lightning strikes.
Yeah, they were freaking crazy. I almost died.
I was so confused. I was so confused.
like real life died.
Yeah, like real life. I almost had a heart attack. It scared the crap out of me.
I was like so confused because I was playing it, all of a sudden just I was like, the fuck's going on? I was like, are rifts acting up again? Because like there's like loud sound stuff when the rifts were like first a thing, and then come to find out there's a giant freaking cube that has got like alien
writing on the side of it.
On it, and
kind of looks like Egyptian like
hieroglyphs. Yeah. Anyway, so that spawned over by Paradise, and apparently it's moving. It's like over in between Fatal and Salty, like coming up on we call it
Banana
Nut. So the mountain with the basketball house by Fatal and Salty. So it's like all the way over there now. But now there's also like an anti-gravity dome. So if you jump high enough on it, you can get out of the dome. But you'll just like drop back down into it.
Yeah.
It don't land on your teammate's head. It'll throw you outside of the dome and you die.
You didn't land on my head. I landed on top of you.
No, I hit J-Mac in the head. I landed.
Somebody hit me. That's all I know.
Did we all hit each other?
I think so.
And like I landed on your head, but Wig landed on my head. And so it like negated so that I didn't bounce off, but he did because he didn't have any to land on.
When you bounce someone on the trampoline and you get like a bad bounce and they just collapse.
Knees give out.
No, I got a fucking triple pop out of the dome and died.
So picture like the netting on a trampoline, like like the safety netting that no one ever used, but everyone uses now because bunch of bitches. So he got triple bounced over and out of that.
He landed right outside the trampoline, like 2 inches outside the trampoline.
He landed on the springs.
Oh, yeah, that's why I died.
Yeah, but whenever you walk in there, it's like anti-gravity. It's like you're on the moon type thing. You're just kind of like bouncing around super slow.
Except a lot slower than Hop Rocks.
Way slower than Hop Rocks.
Yeah.
Like moon.
It's literally like no gravity.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's weird.
Black Ops 2? That zombie?
Yes, dude.
The moon.
That took so long to get used to.
I
know. So anyway, there's a lot of controversy like what could it mean? What do you guys think the spawning of the cube means?
Me and Tune talked about this last night. It's going to roll its merry little ass to tilt it and blow it all up.
Just like last season, everybody said it's gonna blow up. It's blowing up this time.
Yeah, everyone said
it's gonna be like an anti-gravity.
So
thing.
we all knew that a meteor. We all knew that a meteor was gonna strike at what was that? The beginning of season 4.
Yeah,
it was like towards the end.
Damn, that was a long ass time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
Right?
But so a meteor was striking, and we're all like, "Tilted. It's gonna take out Tilted. It's gonna take out Tilted." No, took out fucking Dusty, our favorite place.
It did touch one building.
A meteor did hit Tilted.
It touched half of one building.
It did, and they rebuilt.
And they just now. I don't even know if they're done rebuilding it, but they're almost done rebuilding it now.
Yes,
freaking
most overpowered tower in the
3 months later.
Yeah.
Two seasons, 3 months, right?
Well, I mean, they took out everything else. They did it like people would do.
Yeah, they did like they cleared the debris and then they like brought in materials to build and then slowly rebuilt it. So I mean, they've done a really good job of
like keeping it more realistic
than just like changing it all the time.
Yeah.
Get the realistic. There's a purple cube rolling around the map.
Okay, but I mean, like
that kills people.
Like, okay, because they're like cartoon PUBG type thing. Yeah. They're like, hey, we're better than PUBG.
I was joking because we just talked about a cube.
I know. Well, I mean, obviously it's not real.
That's rolling on its own and kills people.
But yeah, and then
if you shoot the cube, hits the closest person.
Yep.
I haven't done that yet. I still haven't tried that. But me and Wick were playing like a duos game the other day, and I saw a big loot pile, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna run up and get that. And we were like running. I was like running toward the cube, and I heard a heavy sniper shot, and I was like, "Fuck that!" And I turned, bro. I was like, forget that loot." We're like, let's just go kill this guy.
It was all there.
So
yeah, for real.
So we took like a big lap, like way around the freaking cube to go after the dude. But okay, so season 5 is coming to an end. There's like what? 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks left?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks.
And we say coming to an end. That's like 2 or 3 weeks is a long freaking time, but the seasons are like 90 days.
Yeah.
A month and a half. So it's coming to an end.
It seems like it takes forever. It seems like we've been playing on season 5 for like 10 years.
And like the giant rift from the rocket appeared about this time of season 4.
Yeah.
Leading into season 5.
And it's already gone. There's nothing in the sky anymore.
Yeah, there's not a rift, but there's still rifts around.
There's rifts,
and
but
so
I mean, there's
it changed the map as a whole. And so, how do we think this is going, other than like Tilted, like really like what kind of effect do we think this is going to have for...
It's going to change it back.
Because do you guys remember, what was it?
It's going to fill the divot.
What was it? The road trip skin that you got for completing all the challenges of season 4 was the Invader or whatever. It was like an alien or whatever. Like the title of it was like some kind of like alien.
Oh yeah.
It was like an invader.
The face, like the
cape's mask, whatever.
Yeah,
and it had like
the mask,
cape.
and you could have like you could change the face. It was like digital.
Yeah. And it was like the Invader or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's going to bring a new batch of like obviously bring a new batch of skins? Do you think it'll be like intergalactic themed? Because there's like alien writing, and then they had like an Invader. Do you think it's going to be more like alien skins coming in this next one?
That would make a lot of sense, but nobody thought that what was going to happen from season 4 to season 5. No one even. Way over everybody's head.
That's true.
They got a master plan. They know what they're doing. They've been thinking of this probably whenever they first started the game.
Yeah, I think their next big move is going to change that bottom left corner where Flush is.
Because it's maybe so untouched.
Maybe do something like I saw something on YouTube. It's going to be like an aquatic theme.
Ooh.
Or like a space theme, like you said.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
People want space. Now, I'm surprised they didn't do it in season 4, considering that they had
like
all
the hop rocks and all that shit.
Yeah, and the like Omega skin and all that like superhero stuff. You'd think they would bring like a little because like superheroes fight aliens all the time and stuff like that. Yeah. But
so lots of
and they have the new grenade.
Yes.
Shockwave grenade.
Yeah. I called it the new Impulse, but Impulses are still in, so I was wrong. Shockwave. It's actually like I've only used it like twice, but it's a lot of freaking fun because you don't have to worry about fall damage anymore. It's fantastic.
You can go through walls and ceilings. Like,
I don't know how
breaks them completely.
I don't know how good it is, but it is pretty fun.
It is fun to use. That's all I put it. That's the reason why I put the Impulse nades in the game. People have fun.
Well, you can utilize Impulse nades because of fall damage.
Yeah, you can use them as like an offensive weapon.
Yeah. But, I mean, the Shockwave is crazy because you know how Ninja does his impulse things where he hops, like, he builds up and then he hops into somebody's base that they're building. He was, like, so far away. And he built up like that, and then he just used that, and he just flew through the air. He has no care fall damage or anything like that, so he just freaking just, like, killed that guy real fast.
Yeah, so, again, we're praising Fortnite for all the different stuff they do in the game. We have like a love hate with Fortnite. We talk about like, bro, I freaking hate this game. We say that like every night, but then we come back and play it again every night.
Yeah.
Because
it's just so good.
There's little things that piss us off, but there's so many more little things they do that make the game interesting.
The game's great. The people who play it suck.
It's more the people. It's more the people than like it's just people that are just dumb. Don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So Fortnite is continuing, doing what it does, throwing in stuff to keep us guessing and keeping us interested. Like they're always throwing like the rifts that spawn like the missile, the launch, and all that, and then the rifts appearing, and now there's random shit all over the map with the carriage and the Durburger all the way over by Pleasant, and then now a freaking cube that's traveling across the map somehow. Okay, so has anybody actually seen this cube like flip over?
I haven't. I've never seen it. I haven't seen it in person, but I saw like on Instagram, like whenever it first did it, it like over.
Okay.
And then like the next day it was halfway across the map and I was like, wait a second.
like last time I saw it was like over by Pleasant, and then like the next day I like look online and it's like the path of the cube, and I was like, how the fuck to get over there? And it was like
the first day somebody predicted, like they did like a little algorithm with the building and stuff. It was like 3 this way, and like it tracked it all the way to by Dusty, and it's not even close. No. Not even close. They were so wrong. But I was like, wait a minute. I was expecting it to be going there. I was like, that makes sense, right? So that's why I'm just like, I'm not even gonna guess what's going on in season 6.
Yeah, it's crazy, but everyone obviously no one has a clue, but everyone just loves talking about what could happen.
Exactly.
No one's ever right, but we still are always like, yo, what's gonna happen? So aliens, for season 6,
I think for sure
possibility.
Because I mean, like, okay, when we first stepped in like the anti-gravity zone, I don't know if you guys saw, but I had like that alien hieroglyphs like showed up like on my screen, like in my freaking face. Yeah. It freaked me out a little bit, not gonna lie, because that was my my first encounter with the freaking cube, and I was like, I'm like glitch. I thought I was glitching at first. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Anyways, that's enough. Skepticizing. I don't even know what to say.
Prophesizing.
Like, what's gonna happen in Fortnite? Wait, do you? We didn't do the riddle. Do you have a riddle for us?
Oh, we didn't do the riddle. Fuck
me. Do you have one now?
No, I haven't been looking.
Come on.
We're all good. Hey, it's all right. I'm kidding. We didn't get a pass last week. We get a pass this week, right, Tim?
Fuck,
that's on. I like the riddle. That's the thing.
That's on. Okay, I can look one up as we're doing this next little thing.
Okay.
All right. So you did have a final topic.
I did have one. Okay, so my main topic is thoughts on quote free speech unquote, or in quote none. So free speech, we know it now as you're allowed to say whatever you want as long as you don't hurt someone's feelings, and you have the price to pay if you say something stupid.
I think.
Am I accurate there?
Yeah, pretty much. You can't be hating somebody type thing.
Yeah, so no hate speech.
You can't hate. Yeah. You pretty much have you can hate speech. You're reprimanded for it.
Yeah.
Like not like usually in a actual way. It's just more of everyone's gonna like look down upon you.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube,
unless
they can demonetize you and everything like that.
Well, that's because that's different. They have like policies for it, but just in public, hate speech, you're not like actually gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, you're not gonna go to jail.
You're just gonna get
you're gonna get looked down upon. Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really like free speech. Nobody thought this would happen whenever they made this like whenever they thought of this, they're like, oh, this is gonna be free speech.
Yeah,
because like England wasn't like this. They were trying to make it better in England type thing. So nobody really thought this was gonna happen. But people are getting a little soft. I think if you are threatening somebody, then that is hate speech. If you are threatening, like, hey, I am gonna kill.
Yeah, I mean, and there's laws like you can get in legal trouble for threatening somebody.
Exactly.
So,
but if
like obviously there's limitations to free speech, and there needs to be.
Yeah, some people are too, like what we say, people are cupcakes. All the time. Just people get mad. Like you could say something about like an Asian dude, and it's just like a joke, and like if an Asian dude said it, it'd be funny. But like since I said it and I'm white,
or like pronouns,
you don't like Asian people now. All of a sudden, it's like no, it's just a joke. It's like it's not.
Or like pronouns like he, she, whatever. People get mad at that.
Z, Y, X.
That like my thoughts on free speech is I think you should be allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. But whenever you cross that threatening line, that's when you should get in trouble for it. I should be able to call whoever I want, whatever I want at any given moment, as long as I'm not.
Yes.
Putting what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to instill fear in these people.
Exactly.
Like if
you were to call somebody the N-word and it's not threatening them, and you aren't like aggressive towards them.
That's not a good example.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm saying like they. Okay, I mean they're like the biggest group that does that to white people right now.
Yeah.
And I think you should be able to say that towards them, and you should not have to be hated for that because it's just a word.
Yeah.
Like, why is that word hurting you so bad? You call me Cragger, all this other stuff. I've actually never been called that. But if somebody called me that, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good talk.
But
if you say that, they're like, oh, you're racist and everything like that. And it's just like, no, I'm not.
I saw this thing on Twitter. It was like something about like these millennials will never last a day on Modern Warfare or Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 is coming back, I think.
Oh, it's back for Basil.
It is back, actually.
But, off topic, but yeah, there's a bunch of those. I see it like all the time on Twitter and Instagram, and I don't think they could. Honestly.
No,
I never played the game. I saw some of the like stuff that happened to like you guys while you were playing the game, and I was like, yeah, they definitely could not take that.
No,
bro,
you got 30-year-old dudes just going
was insane, bro.
Even if they weren't good.
No, but you could literally say every name in the book, and it'd be like, my brush of the shoulder. So it's
you can literally say anything, any word,
mm-hmm.
and no one cared.
Well, I think a part of that is you're literally behind a TV screen and they don't know where you are. They don't know who you are.
You're a voice. You're a voice coming through. They're not visually seeing you.
But if I see somebody doing something stupid in public, I should be able to say, "You're being a fucking idiot."
Yeah.
And honestly, if you don't stop, I'm going to do something about it. And they're like, "Oh, are you threatening me?" And then now I'm in trouble with the cops. So he said he was going to do something.
He called me retarded.
Yeah, he hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
But now it's these people who are like with the pronouns and shit. It happens a lot with them. Is they get offended, and that's a fun word I like to use.
They should tape to the chest, whatever the fuck they want to be called.
No,
boom, right there.
That too.
Nope. Hey, you're a Z.
Yeah.
Good to know. Not, hey, what's going on, girl, or whatever the fuck you want to say to her, and then they're just like, oh, that's not what you should call me.
I'm referred to as Z.
I'm Zai.
As XZ, absurd.
Like, okay, you just offended me. Well, I'm offended.
But people,
an idiot. So,
look at the chat real quick, though.
What are you talking about? We were talking about
free speech
and how people are using it
getting
badly
super butthurt about free speech.
So what about companies? Do they think should they be held up to a higher standard, to where like in
the company enforces
like
Papa John's? Are you talking about should a company itself not like people or like an account or like social media account representing a company should not be able to say certain things, or are you saying that they should be able to restrict certain things being said?
The company should be able to restrict whatever they want their employees to say.
Yes.
If they're on work time and type stuff like that. Like if they're out and they're technically, and people know that if they work for you, you can definitely fire them for something like that.
That's just like the Twitch thing. You can't say any homosexual term, any black term or anything. Yeah. You can't say that. That's a terms and services things that you need to read.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not saying company to employee. I'm saying company in general. Like why Papa John's lost their CEO because he said a word.
It's because it looks bad on the company as a whole.
It's like,
oh, your CEO is saying that? I don't want to go to Papa John's anymore. They're like, hey, we're firing you because you said something stupid. You shouldn't have said that. Like, if you're up that high, I don't think you... Like, obviously you have free speech. You can say whatever you want, but you have a chance to lose your job if you say something stupid.
Okay. That's fine. I agree with that completely. But at that point, it's no longer free speech. It's more...
Well, I mean, it's technically free speech because you can say whatever you want.
That's
like the company's...
If
the company doesn't like it...
The company as a whole, and like the shareholders or like people like actually like on the board or whatever, have pretty much laid out this company cannot, anyone working, like pretty much, because he was an employee, right? So that was a company to employee thing, right? And that's what he said. So the company itself does not want anyone associated with it to say these words or whatever because it presents the company in a bad way, and that's what happened.
Like the Clippers, remember whenever the Clippers owner said the N-word and everybody freaked out? Like, literally the whole NBA was against him. Literally the whole NBA was against him just for saying one word. So imagine, like, Papa John's. Like, people are just going to completely stop going there. Like, hey, especially if they keep them, they may stop getting money from people that are giving them money. Like investments. People may stop investing in it. And then it could just go down. So, I mean, I think it's just like, we need to keep this company alive. What's the best way to do that? And that is to get rid of you.
And that goes along the same lines as, like, the privacy and, like, terms of service or whatever with Twitch. Essentially, it's like companies, they lay out the kind of behavior they expect from their employees. And especially higher level employees, they're held to an even higher standard than the other employees.
Exactly. Because they're setting an example for the people underneath them.
Yeah.
And you should be more of a better about that stuff. And whenever you get hired on a job, you have to sign a whole bunch of stuff that lays out all of that.
Yeah.
Most people don't read it all. I don't read them all. Because, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory at our age and the jobs we're getting, what we should be doing. But everything that you do, like you sign up for, and you're going to be making money off it, they have something like that in place. Okay. Just to, like, save their butt. It's basically like saving the company.
Yeah.
Because also, it's just not smart for people just to say stuff just because they want to say stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I get that.
But if you have, like, a job at, like, a coffee shop and you just want to say whatever, like, the coffee shop's going to fire you right there no matter what.
So if I own my own business and it's like a mom and pa thing, and then am I allowed to say whatever I want to, like, anyone? If some guy comes in trying to, like, scam me or whatever, and I say, get the fuck out, or you're being ignorant or whatever, and then
he will go post. Somebody will see that and not know what's happening and go post it on Twitter or something like that, and like, hey, he just threw somebody out of his store because he didn't like him. People are not going to start coming back to your store. People are not going to want to go to that because, like, hey, he's going to throw me out because of the way I think or something like that. Like, they may not know that he was trying to scam you.
Yeah.
Or trying to steal from you or anything like that. They just see that you threw him out. And they're like, hey, I don't want to be thrown out of a restaurant, so I'm going to stop going there. And people are going to start boycotting it and everything like that.
Yeah, and like it's just like it's just a bad look for the company as a whole.
So let's step back a little bit. So free speech there's an asterisk, obviously.
Yeah.
So we have a no threatening, and it's at pretty much business discretion.
Yes. Yeah, so no threatening is just in general anybody ever.
Yeah.
And then there's like business discretion as, like, how you're allowed to present yourself since you're representing the company. And it's a lot like, with us when we were playing sports, as our coaches were like, you're not representing just yourselves, you're representing the coach and then you're representing the school.
Because everybody knows
where you're from.
Exactly.
And it
just looks bad on everybody from here. So, like, if one person from Claremore came here and just, like, was terrible, like, talking so much crap and everything like that, you would think everybody from Claremore was like that.
Yeah.
Most people would.
Yeah. They jump to conclusions. Like, they base everyone else off the one.
Exactly.
So free speech isn't necessarily, like, it's not really, like, even, like, we don't even need it in our Bill of Rights because we know what we're doing.
I mean, we do. It's more for, like, the freedom of speech and, like, press. There's, like, the same. It's under the same one, right? Yeah. It's the freedom of press, and so it's it's there. Like the main purpose is
peaceful protest underneath that too.
I think like the main reason it's really there is so that the government can oppress you from speaking out against the government.
Exactly. Like in England back in the day, if you said something about the king, you were dead, pretty much. Yeah. Even if it was like a joke.
Yeah, it's to protect the people's rights as far as the government goes, and I'm allowed to speak my mind about what is going on in the country as far as the government. Okay. That's the main...
And it is the person reading or listening or whatever, it's their thing to believe it or not.
To believe it or to not listen to it all and be like, I don't want to hear it, turn it off, walk away.
Then why do we have to limit it if it's their decision to listen to it or not?
Because people want to get in an argument with that person doing that. That's why.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They want to make them look bad. And in turn, it makes everybody look bad.
Okay, so you say, so why should there be limitations?
Yeah.
If someone can choose to act on it or react to it.
Like people want Family Guy and shit taken off of TV because they don't want their kids watching it. Well,
don't let them watch it.
That's what, no, but that's what I'm saying. Is I don't like the TV. The network's not gonna take off what they have just because people don't like it. They're just gonna say, hey, don't watch it then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're not able to just say that. They have to limit what they say and censorship. And I mean that's another thing, like radio and like songs.
Well, they're also trying to get like the most views that they can get.
Nope. By law, you can't cuss on TV. So like that's limited. That's not free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like a different. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
That's like, okay, so
like on the radio, like you can't have curse words on there.
Yeah.
Choose not to listen to that radio station, opposed to now nobody can hear the actual full song because you don't want your 6-year-old snot-nosed little punk running around saying the fuck word everywhere.
Yeah, and like, okay, another thing is like, is that like a government, the government's law, or is that people that run like the radio towers and stuff saying we don't want the audiences to be exposed to that? Is that like something from the government, or is it the companies sending the radio waves and all that stuff? The ones that are
who is it? Because Family Guy had a thing about it on their show where they made fun of it the whole time. Whenever Peter made his own TV show or whatever, and they're making fun of it. I forgot what it's called though. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah. So they regulate. I don't think it may be the government. Like the government regulates it, and they regulate. But I mean, it's just if you don't want your kid to see that, don't let them see that. They have literally things on your TV now where you can set what channels you can't watch. Yeah, like your kids can't watch. You can literally set it like they can only watch these certain channels, and they can only watch those certain channels. It's not that freaking hard. It's really not that hard to figure out because they have a guide. So you do this, step by step. If you don't want them listening to music, don't give them access to that kind of music.
So, if I go to work and I say a curse word in front of a customer and they get pissed off and they contact corporate or whatever, they fire me. Why am I not protected?
Because you sign something in your contract with the company whenever you have to sign everything at the beginning. You signed, and one of those things probably said, "Hey, you cannot speak this way at work."
So I don't understand how they're allowed to do that. I'm not saying how they're allowed to. I'm saying why. Why is it that us as humans conform to that? Like, because we worked so hard. The revolution, people fought so hard for us to have free speech and free everything else, but we take a job knowing we can't utilize that.
Because that company, everybody wants to make the most possible money they can make.
Yeah.
And if you're making that stop in some way, maybe that person never comes back and say they spend like $50 a year. That's $50 a year that they lose after that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's gonna add up.
No, I'm saying what you're saying is fair. Yeah. I'm saying why is us as humans, we purposefully allowed these companies to strip that away from us
because we think that they are in the right to do that. Because it is trying to keep us from acting like idiots and being dicks to customers or consumers of whatever product.
But also, if you cuss, like I've cussed to customers before. Yeah, I have customers that don't care. I have customers that come to my store, they don't care. I mean, I don't just yell it out and stuff like that, but I'll just say like damn or something like that. I mean, that's technically a cuss word, and I mean, they don't care. But somebody could come in and just not like cuss words at all, and then just get mad at it.
Well, that's on you. I was saying, as humans, it's kind of ass backwards. That.
Well, I mean, okay, if you're in the right mind, obviously that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. If you're a corporation, put yourself up there. Yeah. In some.
But he's already saying that the corporation's right. He's saying, why do we conform to let the corporations act that way?
Because it makes sense. It makes sense if you're in the right mind. It literally makes sense. Like if you put yourself up there, you're like, hey, yeah, I wouldn't want my employees doing that either.
How about this? How about I have a successful little hipster company. We do protein shakes and shit, and we're allowed to cuss, and we're allowed to cuss to each other and people. And now if our age wasn't such fucking soft cupcakes, I mean, it'd be like if we were hard, and like us three. Yeah. It'd be cool to go into a business and be like, what the fuck's up? That's our greeting. How the fuck you doing? This is shakes and shit. That's what I'm
Bro,
That'd be so cool.
But that's like owning your own business. Yeah,
you
can definitely say that. But if that one person comes in and is like, hey, I've never been here before. I've never been to Shake Shit. Obviously, if you see that name, it's like, okay.
I think
and then you come in and they're like, what the fuck is up? And you're just like, you don't like customers. And you're like, whoa. And then you just leave and you never come back and they complain.
Yes, there's a restaurant. I forget where it's at. But, like, literally.
They give horrible service.
They give insult. They insult you.
Yeah.
And people, like, will tip better based on how good your insults are to them. And, like, so,
hilarious.
like, there are companies, like that are built around, like, the complete opposite of what society expects.
And that's why people go there.
And they do well because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're, like...
And those that company in particular is giving people that don't really have much money, because they're all actors that are doing it. It's like improv for them, because they're just like thinking on the fly. They don't have anything written down, and it's like it's giving those people that aren't making very much money and giving them like a job.
Okay.
And I think it's pretty cool how they do that. But I mean, also people are gonna go in there because like, hey, I've never been it's a thing you want to do. You're like, hey, I've never been treated like crap at a restaurant before.
Mm-hmm.
Why not go try? And they literally do it. Everything you say. It's just like an insult every time. It's hilarious. But I mean, people just want to see different stuff sometimes.
Okay.
In that aspect of business, right there.
I just had seen a lot, like with the news and the media, and then some stories. I've seen like free speech has been really like muzzled and really controlled, and I just didn't know. I just need to talk it out and see.
I don't think the government is controlling it so much as corporations and stuff like that.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Because I've never, like, I mean, yeah, people have gone to jail for, like, hate speeches and stuff like that, but not... at that point, they're usually threatening somebody.
Yeah, and at that point, I think that's, like, essentially, like, written in the Constitution as well. It's like, you have freedom of speech up to this point.
Yeah,
like, you can't threaten someone's life.
Like, you can't say, I want to kill you. And then
you can't threaten someone's life, whatever.
So what's... Okay, we're gonna end on this. What is threatening? Suck my dick, bitch. Is that...
No, that's not.
I think you have to, like... physically say, like, if somebody said that they wanted to rob our store one time.
Yeah.
While I was working, I told our manager.
Yeah.
And then I called the cops. The cops said we can't do anything because he didn't say he was actually going to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's like you have to basically say like I'm going to do it, pretty much. I think.
But like obviously this is like on TV and stuff. But like you see like shows where it says it was a threatening thing. I want to do this, and they'll be like, duh, duh, duh. And I think that's like the misconception is like there is it has to be verbally said that this is going to happen for anything to be taken, legal action to be taken.
Like if you play Xbox and you grew up playing Call of Duty, it's your vocabulary, it's in your blood to say way off the wall and over dramatic threatening shit to people when you don't mean it.
I've been told like I'm gonna kill your fucking parents. Like I can't tell you how many times kids have said that to me like over Xbox.
I'm gonna find your address and I'm gonna kill your family.
But yeah, people will like threaten that kind of stuff, and people are like, bro, I'm gonna find your IP address and like then like your real address, and I'm like, I'm gonna come kill you. I'm like, like no, you won't. Like,
that's not possible, but yeah.
Yeah, it's because like we don't take it seriously, but if someone were to actually take it seriously and we cared enough to be like, yo, like, and find out where this person is, who it is, we could call it and they could get in trouble for it.
People don't do chat in the game anymore.
No,
people do party chats now because of that. I think they were like,
oh yeah, okay. So back on the 360, you couldn't do party chat during search and destroy on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I miss those days so much.
Yeah. So I mean,
my god,
none of the kids growing up that I played, they may have played Call of Duty, but they never actually had that because they had like everybody's at a party, so everybody's just talking to their friends. They'd say like we say stuff about people all the time that we play games with, and they're like, wow, this kid sucks. They can't hear us though.
Yeah.
As on Call of Duty and stuff like that, search and destroy, you could say, "Hey, you suck," and they would hear you no matter what.
But I mean, there's also like ways to parents could limit that because there's like settings where you can be like, you can't hear anybody that you haven't friended and like allowed to hear their voice communication or whatever. Like there were settings to like prevent that for people that
just don't tell your parents about that.
No.
Can you like turn that stuff off? No.
I think we're going off on a tangent.
All right. Yeah. Anyways. So, we talked about a lot of good shit.
I didn't find anything. They all sucked.
So, no reels tonight, but we talked a lot about a lot of good shit. We talked about what? Ginobili. End of an era. 20 years, right?
Pretty
Since Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili weren't on the Spurs.
Yep.
Roster changes, upcoming worldwide events in esports, and then freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Talked about one of the amendments today. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
This is Wick saying keep them beeholes tight.
J-Mac, watch out for the Bushwookies.
Dude, that's tuna #balling.